their code. It's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Once they have popular control, they have the masses. I'm sure there are many people who know that they should do something, but it's always been easier to ignore it than fight back. We've seen it in other countries throughout the years, but it could never happen here in America, right? They have you without a thought, without a fight. Just about everyone around you and everyone walking the streets right now gave in and went with the herd. They didn't do this because they were afraid, they did it because they were lazy. The movie theaters have been crippled for months. As long as the perceived virus threat exists, they won't be able to open at even half capacity. Oh, and the only way theaters turn a profit is from popcorn and soda, which they can't sell you. Every school from primary to university is currently lost at sea with no compass. No one has a clue how to open their institutions without breaking protocol because their systems were literally designed to pack as many kids into one place as possible. Everything from small classrooms to lunchrooms to gymnasiums were built with the exact opposite of social distancing in mind. How in the hell do you reverse that and educate at the same time without rebuilding all the schools from scratch? You don't. They don't have the money or time. The ideas being floated around now literally turn an average school into a social distance circus. Temperature checks at the door, no changing rooms, eat lunch at your desk, designated bathroom breaks, no sports, no assemblies, no buses, no dances. You come in, you sit down, you shut up, you leave. It all sounds like a dystopian movie, but it isn't. It's very real, and by the way, how do you convince any kid under 4th grade not to be next to other kids? And don't get me started on churches. Almost all of them went down without a word of protest. For the greater good, of course. How did they do it? How did the powers that rule this world accomplish all this and much more? They told you that there was a threat, and you believed them. They first told you that masks were useless. Then a month later, they said that masks were life-saving. They said that social distancing was critical. If you had a party at your house, they could invoke contact tracing. and fine you. But if you were protesting human rights issues in the streets, then you could inhale tear gas and hack up a lung on the people next to you with no penalties. And while you were focusing on masks and people tearing down statues and hoping to God you didn't run out of toilet paper, thousands and thousands of businesses were shutting down for good because they depended on people walking through their doors. And if you were listening to this, you've probably realized that most of those masked people walking the streets now aren't people at all. They are just shadows with what used to be faces. The herd. The sheep who will do just about anything that the media tells them because that's what they were programmed to do. Anyone that is voluntarily wearing a mask at this stage is a mindless drone who couldn't think for themselves if their life depended on it. That is not an exaggeration. You wanted to know who the NPCs are? Now you have your answer. They are all around you. They are the masses, the mob, and they are just a few loud noises away from an all-out purge-like panic. If you understand that, then you need to brace yourself. The levels of this pressure cooker we are currently in are rising, not falling. Things only get stranger from here. There are plans within plans within plans. Pay attention to not only what you see, but what you don't see. There will be more warnings in the months to come, so for now, let me end with this. Figure out who your friends are and who you can trust. Don't make any long-term plans or international trips. Make sure you have extra of everything, and no matter what, don't panic. You are the awoken, and at the very least will go into the storm with both eyes open. And while you're at it, get a black t-shirt that says 2020. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.